I now recognize Mr. Moskowitz from Florida for 5 minutes of questions.
Mr. Chairman, thank you. The American people deserve to know the origins of the COVID-19 virus. I happen to believe, based on the evidence that is available, that it's most likely that it came out of the lab than not. But for the families who lost loved ones to COVID, they don't have an answer. For the businesses that were shut down, they don't have an answer. For the folks in nursing homes who couldn't have their loved ones visit them, they don't have an answer. And I know all of this because I'm the only one in Congress who ran a COVID-19 response operation as the Director of Emergency Management for the state of Florida. I'm the only one who had to go to China to buy masks and buy nasal cannular oxygen and buy ventilators and having to buy viral media and universal media and having to get all of that stuff from around the world, competing with everybody but Antarctica, because this country was not prepared to take on a pandemic. Those families deserve to know. My dad, like some others, was diagnosed with cancer during COVID-19. We couldn't be with him in the hospital during treatment. Those families have a right to know. Students who weren't in school have a right to know. But also, I think the American people have a right to know why so much misinformation was spread about COVID-19 in this country by President Trump. Let me just read some of the greatest hits from President Trump. China's been working very hard to contain the coronavirus. The United States greatly appreciates their efforts and transparency. It will all work out well. In particular, on behalf of the American people, I want to thank President Xi. Okay. I just spoke to President Xi last night. And you know, we're working on the problem, the virus. It's a very tough situation. I think he's going to handle it. I think it's handled very well. We're helping wherever we can. Just had a long conversation with the president of China. He's strong, sharp, powerful, focused on leading the counterattack to the coronavirus. He feels they're doing very well, even building hospitals in a matter of days. Great discipline in taking place in China. President leads strongly in a very successful operation. We're working closely with China to help. I think China was very, professionally run in a sense. They've got everything under control. I really believe they're going to have it under control very soon. In April, supposedly it's going to die with the hotter weather, and that's a beautiful date to look forward to. But China, I can tell you, is working very hard. We have very few people in this country with COVID, and you know what? They're getting better. They're all getting better. I think the whole situation will work out well. We pretty much shut it down coming from China. We only have 15 people with COVID. And, 15 within a couple of days, it's going to go down to 0. That's a pretty good job we've done. It's going to go away, hopefully at the end of the month, and if not, hopefully soon after that. I could keep going. This goes on, and every day it goes on, there were more and more cases in this country. And so we have to find out why the president was spreading that information. We heard about this paper, proximal origins paper, in the committee. And we heard from members that this paper specifically said that they didn't want to investigate the lab leak at all. That is not true. Here's the quote from the paper. We must therefore examine the possibility of an inadvertent laboratory release of SARS-CoV-2. So I don't know why we continue to spread this misinformation. I also think one of the things we should learn, because the document that Mr. Radcliffe has been reading from as part of his testimony, suggests analysts appeared reluctant to have their analysis on China brought forward because they tend to disagree with Trump administration policies. Well, one of the things I also think we should investigate is, did the professionals not share the information they had with the president because they didn't trust the president because every single day he was going out saying this stuff? Or better, going out and telling people they can drink bleach or they should just go out and put light in the body and we'll get rid of COVID. I mean, this went on for a long period of time. So yes, we need to investigate. We need to investigate the origins of COVID. We need to know what we knew when, and we need to share that with the American people, and we need to know why President Trump, who was in charge when COVID happened, he was in charge when COVID got out of control, why he didn't tell the American people the truth. I yield back.